Hey everyone, in this video I'd like to share my experience mounting some modern wide stiff bike tires onto some vintage narrow rims by using 3 tire levers. So here we have some Mavic MA2 rims on my old touring bike, and I would like to mount some Panaracer Pasella 38mm tires. So the internal width of the rim it's about 13 to 14 millimeters, which is quite narrow by modern standards. And some people might say it's illegal to run wide tires on these narrow rims, according to Sheldon Brown's tire chart. However, I did some research and noticed that back in the 90s, many mountain bikers would fit very wide mountain tires on these MA2s and the MA2's derivatives MA40s. And I agree that this is not ideal, but it is definitely feasible. Plus, I do like the look of these tan wall tires, and these are currently the only 2 nice rims I have. Compared to modern tires, obviously, these rims don't really have that much space to begin with. And to make things worse, if you look at the cross section, the inside of the rim is just flat. Modern rims, for example, here we have this DT Swiss rim. These modern rims are usually wider and have a deeper groove in the rim center, which you can push your bead into to create some slack for the other side of the rim. On MA2 rims, there are also these eyelets that can take away the space, so can be a bit challenging. But definitely with my technique, it should be pretty feasible. I do have to make a disclaimer here. I would say this is a relatively risky way of installation, as you are creating more stress on the rim and the tire. You might also pinch the inner tube if you're not careful, so please be cautious. With that said, you really want to clean the rims and the tires and use plastic levers just to be safe. And definitely do not try this on some carbon rims. Okay, first of all, we can seat the inner tube and the most of the bead as normal, and after the bead becomes tight, here is a technique of using the tire lever to lift the bead up and over the sidewall. So we want to first wedge the lever into the gap with the curved end facing into the rim. This is opposite to the tire removal process. And then after we have the tire lever wedged in, we can use the clincher as the pivot and lift up the tire bead. Once that portion of the tire goes in, you should keep the lever wedged. You can hold it down with one of your feet. This is because the bead is now very, very tight and it really wants to get out of the rim, and we have to prevent that on one side first. And now we can do the same thing on the other side. Once we're able to bring a little more tire in, we can hold down the lever with our other foot. Now the tire bead has nowhere to go if we lift it up from the middle, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Theoretically, we can just put the third lever right into the middle and finish the job while holding down the first 2 levers with our feet. But here I actually did it twice just to be safe, as I wanted to close down the distance between the 2 levers and stretch the bead a little bit more before I did the last lifting. And as you can see, there you have it. But I do have to admit that I actually punctured 2 tubes previously. It was not because of the lever pinching the tube while I used this lever lifting technique. I just forgot to clean up the rim and the tire, and I believe there was a little piece of my broken mug in the tire which punctured the inner tube. Alright, that's it. I hope you find this helpful. Peace.